UK hit with biggest economic decline in more than 300 years.
Here's a summary of the article.
The United Kingdom is facing its worst recession since the Great Frost of 1709, back when the American colonies were still British, and Benjamin Franklin was just 3 years old. Residents have been trading at Borough Market for at least 800 years. Foster's family has been selling fruit and vegetables in London for 4 generations, employing more than 50 people. Another year, no, we wouldn't be able to survive that long, Foster said. In a wealthy part of central London, near where fashionable boutiques and houses that sell for tens of millions of dollars are located, people receive groceries and meals at a food bank. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd ever come down here, having to come into a food bank. I used to give people money on the streets, Jane Austen said. Dr. Miata Fonbala, an economist, told CBS News the British government's slow response to the pandemic, along with Brexit, created a perfect storm of economic pain.
This post received a score of 39,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
And for 14% of the country they have never been so rich. While telling everyone that we're all in the same boat as they wipe their tears with a fistful of dosh and cruise away to the EU with their purchased dual citizenship.
Damn, and all I have are these fistfuls of Doge.
That's gotta be at least 0.3 quid. 1 Doge will always be 1 Doge.
I'm gonna hold until 1 Doge is actually 1.1 Doge, pretty sure I'll be rich then.
You achieve a sort of currency feedback loop that effectively makes you omnipotent.
Brexit plus pandemic equals UK economy.
A poorly negotiated Brexit and a poorly managed pandemic response. Boris's legacy.
Greater than a poorly negotiated Brexit. Let's be clear, there was hardly a way for Brexit to be negotiated better. It was from its conception an exercise in self-harm with a negotiating partner who was in a much stronger position in almost every department. Every expert knew this and said so before the referendum. At least as soon as the UK chose to go for a hard Brexit, this was more or less the foregone outcome. Whilst your overall point is true, there were terms the EU offered that were better than we ended up with due to the incredible incompetence of the cabinet. A competent cabinet would have just said no to Brexit, and gone back to the very good deal they had in the EU, with only a couple of cosmetic changes.
The problem with that is we have a Tory government, many of whom stand to make a considerable profit from Brexit.
How do they make money from Brexit? Not a dig. Genuinely curious. None of was not about any of the issues told to the public. Part of being part of the EU is for the UK to follow their banking regulations and few others. So places like Isle of Man and their tax advantages would go away. Who does that hurt? Rich people. Leave EU and they don't have to reform their regulations. As long as the rich people get to keep their tax havens within the UK, the rest can burn down for all they care. To get a better understanding, look at Isle of Man Wikipedia page and look at Economy tab.
The Isle of Man is neither part of the UK or the EU, not saying bank regulations had nothing to do with it, or tax law for that matter.
Pretty sure that's half the point of it being a tax haven. I'm uninformed about the EU's banking laws, but I assume it was to avoid something like having to provide information on money stored outside the EU.
It's almost like these small European countries formed a trade bloc to compete in a globalized economy. I voted Remain and thought it was a no-brainer. At the time I thought the Brexit popularity had to be exaggerated as it was so obviously a shit idea full of holes. Half the nation was sold a blatant lie, and it proves just how politically illiterate most people are.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.